Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for May 2nd. May the 2nd be with you. May the 4th be with you is coming up. Big week coming up for Star Wars. A lot of things that are probably going to get revealed. Some of the stuff that's already happened this week. Always a big week for Transformers news. We're going to get into talking about all this great stuff coming up. So starting out with some stuff at Show Z. First of all, there's this sci-fi figure industry Kanar in the MG 1100 scale EV000666 full armor Dusak. And it's made of plastic diecast. It's 8.27 inches tall. And the thing is, this is really cool looking. I don't think it really transforms. I think it's more of just a statue kind of thing. But it's kind of cool that they're making it. And looking at the price on this, unknown for now, $3 down, looks pretty cool, and I like the style of it, and it's going to be kind of Masterpiece-esque scale. Now, last week I talked about the Legends Masterpiece, Legends Optimus Prime getting reissued. This is the Magic Square MS-01X Plus Light of Freedom. This is the Masterpiece version, so it's not the Legends version. It is an upgraded version of the first one they put out. Now, here's the thing. There are no pictures yet. They're using pictures of the first metallic version of the Masterpiece, Magic Square Prime. But if they paint this thing as well as they painted the Legends, I'm buying it. I mean, hands down, I'm buying it, and I'll just dump my first one. Because I think Magic Square is learning how to paint or investing more money into their paint apps. And if they do it with this, they're going to win. So, one of the biggest stories this past week, but maybe not the biggest, is Fanstoys reissuing their Bugs. Now, this is interesting because I was told in 2018 that they were going to reissue the Bugs. It was inside information from Fanstoys that it was getting reissued, and I had multiple sources telling me this, and we haven't seen it since then. So, 2018, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll sell my Forager for some crazy ridiculous price, which is probably half of what it sells for now, and now they reissue it. Now there's a couple of problems with this. Most places make you buy them all, and I just wanted Forager. One place, TF Source, sold them separately, and I went to TF Source figuring they might do that, refresh, and then what seemed to pop up was one I already had, and the rest sold out like in minutes. So I missed that opportunity. So it's not a big deal to me. It's not the end of the world to me. But it's proof to me that it's not an actual production run. It's just a handful of leftover stock from past production runs. So there's this real interesting figure, and I don't know much about it, but I like showing oddball, off-the-wall stuff. We're going to do it right away with the sci-figure industry Wuji 10G. And this is a cool-looking figure. Now, when I looked at this figure, I thought it was a Fembot. So, do you think it's a Fembot? I don't have the information whether or not it is a Fembot, but maybe it's a Fembot that hangs out with maybe Springer, because it turns into a Springer-esque type of helicopter. Looks really good. Is it an Apache helicopter? I don't know. I'm not an expert on helicopters. I'm gonna be one day because I kind of am excited and have a ton of helicopters. But this looks good. So Dreamstar Toys is showing off the sprue that the parts come out of the mold. I'm intrigued by this for a lot of reasons. I actually make my own parts. I make my own reproduction parts, and wondering like, how do they make this so perfect? And I want to be that good one day, but it's going to take some equipment, time, and money. But here it is. There's some more parts off of the sprue. What are you going to get when you add all these parts together? Well, I guess that's what you get with this guy. So they've got their prototypes and stuff. It's kind of cool. They're teasing, and Superion is my favorite, so you're going to hear about this all the time. Takara has put out some more images. Well, I don't even know if it is actually Takara or if it's somebody that got a hold of a Takara. But whatever. They're skids, and I think it looks good. I don't know yet if it's going to be better than X-Transbots, but I think it's priced right. I can't believe Takara is pricing their stuff right. and maybe, just maybe, they're going to turn a corner and make a bunch of other Masterpiece figures priced right. And I hope for the same. So when you look at this as a $90 figure, it looks good. I went ahead and pre-ordered this one and the red one. Here's the thing, Takara, if you give it to us for the right price, I'm going to buy all your recolors too. If this thing was $160, I'd be out on the red one. But for $90, I can get both. Thank you. And that's serious. That is a very serious talk there. Here it is from behind. I gotta tell you though, Skids is stuck in the 70s with the style of the bell bottoms. Didn't I just put out a video talking about how fallen companies aren't down? They're down but not out. And Make Toys was on that list, and I said they're not out, they're down, or they're extended. Guess what? They're putting up a picture of the heads. Now, if you don't understand the importance behind them expressing what the head's going to look like, the first run, the head looked like it was entirely painted as black. Like the face was dark charcoal. You couldn't discern the difference between the face and the head, the helmet area. So with this, they're saying we're fixing that, and we're giving you a bunch of other heads. But I think it's more of a, we're going to pick 5 of these expressions. This is where we're going. We're going to narrow it down. And I like that. I have my MP44 head on my Make Toys Starscream right now because the one that came in with it was just not working for me. And, well, the upcoming release, it's going to work. And they're saying, yes, we are releasing it. So we've gotten Fans Hobby to release more pictures of their MB13 Ace Hitter. This figure is a Headmaster Jr. Go Shooter Siren. Siren's the actual name. It looks good. It seems to be a remold, recolor, some slight changes to some parts for what they've already put out before. But it's exciting because how else are you going to get Headmaster Juniors if you're in for that, if you're excited for that? But it does look pretty good. Now, I do think the alt mode looks good, and it's a police car. It looks great. It looks nice. I actually think the alt mode is better than the bot mode when it comes to comparing the two side by side. But it starts to make me think about something else, another police car that's coming in stock right now. So Extransbot's Fuzz, which is their take on Streetwise, the MX-30 is a nice, cool police car. So reminiscent of the late 70s model of the Nissan that it looks good, and it's coming in stock. It shows you right now. I'm going to be paying for mine. It's going to be shipped. It's going to be on the way. I'm going to review it for the first part of a Defensor, and I'm all in on X-Transbot's Defensor. I need to talk more about that, but this looks good. The bot mode looks good. It looks okay. I hope they didn't over-engineer the thing, of course. I mean, you don't want it over-engineered by X-Transbots or even by Fans Toys. The over-engineering can cause some problems down the road, but I do want this to be a great Defensor, and I really think with the dwindling options out there, this is the number one for me. So 3-0 is putting out more pictures, more images of the combined mode here of their Jetfire on the Optimus Prime. Non-transformable, but you can take my parts, Optimus Prime. Not a good impression. But it's still really cool looking. I like the way this looks. It looks good. It looks great. It's going to be big, massive, impressive. Have an impressive price tag to it. But I thought that they put pictures out like 2 weeks ago about this. But they just keep putting more and more pictures as it comes. Flame Toys is putting out their pictures of their model Shattered Glass Drift. And I think we've already seen the packaging of it, but here is the actual item, and it's painted to the nines, and it looks good. I like the way this thing looks. It's painted. It looks great. I hear nothing but good things about these, even though this is the model kit. So, model kit means you got to put it together. I saw those pictures last week. I think I put those up here last week. But it's going to be highly articulated, and I got some feedback that it could take up to 2 hours to put these kits together, and a lot of people find that rewarding as they do it. And some of these model kit builders do their own paint apps, but I think this already comes pre-painted. I don't know if you need to do any more to it. So Legends news is a little light this week, but it's fun. One picture I came across, and I don't even remember where I found this, but the Magic Square Minosaur is going to be about the same size as Magic Square's Masterpiece Optimus Prime, and I misspoke and said it was going to be 11 and a half inches. It's only going to be about 9.5 inches tall, and now that I start thinking about it and looking at my other combiners on my shelf, that's exactly the right height. And so I was wrong. This will not scale well with your Combiner Wars figures. So if you have a Combiner Wars collection and you have that terrible Minosaur and you want to replace it with this, you need to put like a block of wood under it or something to make it taller. But it's not quite tall enough to match up to Combiner Wars. Okay, so it kind of feels like Magic Square is stealing the thunder in Legends this week. Not much coming out of New Age. New Age, they operate in bursts, like massive bursts, and then nothing, and then another massive burst. So probably next week we'll get like 6 New Age reveals or 50 New Age reveals. Here we are with the Magic Square, their Minosaur's box, and it looks good. Here is the Minosaur in hand, literally in hand, and it looks good. And moving over here to the team. So this thing should be coming out soon. And what I want to talk about this Minosaur that I didn't already talk about a little earlier is the fact that they are putting this thing out back to back to back and getting it done. Like, we don't see this in Masterpiece. If this was Masterpiece and this was Fans Toys, we wouldn't already see all this done already. Like, this is moving so fast. And I mean, what is it, like 3 months from start to finish? Something like that? That's amazing. That's impressive that Magic Square can do that. It makes me want Magic Square to be in the MP game even more because they can hit the timelines. Staying in line with more of the Magic Square, now I did talk about their Prime getting reissued in the Legends scale last week, but they really brought it out that this is going to have clear windows. The clear window version, you can see the matrix all the way through it. It's a little bit frosted, but there's a bunch of different angles that they want to show off. And here you are with the matrix chamber. So that's one of the big differences in this figure. But this is not going to be the extra painted version. And they do have a few different paint apps to this that are different than the original release. So this is kind of a hybrid kind of release. Still looks pretty good. I like it. Here it is in alt mode. Looks good. I prefer the EX or the X or the shiny metallic version that they did. They did it well, and that's my favorite. But then I am kind of torn because I like the clear windows. So I guess I should talk about this. Alien Attack Toys is making the APX-04 Sword of Justice, and it's going to be the Age of Extinction sword. I don't know. That was the biggest bomb of the live action movies. So is this sword sought after? I think it looks cool. Let me just say, I think it looks cool. I don't know that there's a lot of people clamoring to get the thing. It does have some light up effects to it too. I haven't seen the price though. It's probably going to be real expensive. But it's kind of one of those things that I would have actually rather seen a G1 Optimus Prime gun that has light up effects and sound effects and everything versus an Age of Extinction sword. What do you think? Okay, so I came across a YouTuber, Billy the Kid No BS Reviews, who actually got his Unicron. Good job on getting your Unicron. I don't have mine yet, but I'm going to talk about that. But this picture depicts exactly what I've been talking about. Why is the HasLab Unicron so popular, going up so much in value, so sought after, even after so many people trashed it during the funding campaign? It barely got funded, by the way. Had to get extended and all that. This is why people want this thing. Look at it next to the 01 Studio Cell, Zeta, or whatever you want to call the other one. I have the other one, and I liked it. It was okay, but I knew the planet mode was that much more impressive. It's worth it just for the planet mode. Look at that picture. Kudos. That same Billy the Kid YouTuber there shows this Megatron, or not Megatron anymore. I guess he's Galvatron. But what I thought was weird about Galvatron, I thought his chest was too wide. What's wrong is his shoulders are too low. He shows a fix how to basically pry them apart, flip the shoulder joints 180, and then reattach them to bring them up, and it looks a lot better. Yes, it does look a whole lot better. So is that a fix to make it transform right, or is that a fix to make it look better and it still transforms the same? I kind of think it just makes it look better. Okay, Mike, you're late to the game, making another Dinobot. Hasbro is putting out another Dinobot, and this Dinobot is going to be the leader class, and it makes me wonder a whole bunch of stuff. I got like a lot of questions here. First off, how big exactly are these going to be? Are they going to be fans toy size, sub fans toy size? How big for the $50 price point? So I think they will be smaller than fans toys. So they won't really work so much with your Masterpiece, but they'll definitely look good on your shelf. But the other question I have, which is probably the bigger question, are they going to make the rest of the team? So there's 2 down, 3 to go. I don't see why not. Like, please give us the rest of the team. If you don't give us the rest of the team, just at least give us Swoop. I'll probably buy 3 or 4 of them. Swoop's my favorite. So I've got to see them fill this out and deck this out and make the whole team and make them this big. It's great. You know what? Take the risk, Hasbro. I mean, how many billions have you made? You can make more billions doing this. It is what we want, what we need. I'm in on it. I've got the Grimlock, and I'll get the rest of them as long as you keep making them. So we got more packaging images of the Ark and a ton more images of the Ark, but really the packaging tells it all. And I was on the fence on this, and I went ahead and pre-ordered one. So there I am. I pre-ordered one. I usually get 2, one to open, one to keep sealed, but just one for now. I'm going to dip my toe in just in case they sell out. I think it's a cool idea that we have the Ark. I don't know, transforming was a better idea than it being opening and interactive, but Hasbro took their stance with this. Here we are with the back of the box showing you features, what all it can do. So that looks pretty cool. It looks like it comes with 2 golden discs, or is that 1 golden disc showing you both sides, and you get these little pieces with it. So it's kind of interesting, kind of exciting. But then I really feel like we need a video talking about what comes after this. Getting a Generation Select Shattered Glass Megatron. And the thing is, I guess Megatron's a good guy when he's looking like this. Sorry, but New Age beat you to this. Anyway, it looks interesting. It looks good. I actually like this better than any of the standard Megatron molds for Siege or Earthrise or whatever. But it still looks okay. It's cool. It's interesting. There are some extra parts, a lot of translucent pieces that go with it. It's definitely a different paint job with it, but you also get this alt mode, and the alt mode, it looks significantly different than what New Age did with theirs. So I don't know. I don't know if this is a win in the alt mode or if it's a fail. I'm not as in tune with the IDW stuff, the Shattered Glass stuff, but it's interesting for $37.99. And it is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and it's not sold out. So this past week, we've seen some more pictures of the Kingdom tracks. Now, it looks good, and we're going to look at these pictures, but we're also going to talk about the fact that there is a Road Rage, a red version on the way, and I think it's cool. It's good that they're going to do both. It's going to look good. Here we go with the alt mode in flight mode, and you're going to get the same thing with the red one. I want to say a real quick snippet about this figure is I'm glad they didn't make it in Siege. Because if they made this in Siege, it would not look the way it looks in alt mode. It would look like some funky, weird thing that doesn't make any sense. And I'm glad they waited to Kingdom, or, you know, if they could have done it in Earthrise, it would have been fine. I like the way this looks. This is going to be a great figure. So Hasbro has officially announced that they're going to raise prices on their products due to raw material costs, and so raw material costs plus shipping cost increases and a lot of that other stuff. So I actually have a video planned about this, but then this pops up. But the thing is, stuff's going to be going up like crazy. What do collectors do? That video's coming. Shout out to Gotbot, who has, he's a YouTuber, and he has shared information about Transformers Generation Deluxe Alabama. It's a placeholder for $30 Canadian, $24.41, so probably a $25 price point, I guess, for US. But there's going to be something new for Generation Selects coming down the pipeline. But this brings into question what else is new. There's also supposed to be a whole new product, Project Jam. So we're supposed to be getting another crossover. And just so you don't know, if you don't know, the Expanse is $32 or something like that at Target.com right now. So if you want the X-Men version of the crossover, the Ectotron, the Gigawatt, and the Maverick, they're out there. What's next? I made a whole video about what they could do. I hope it falls into the confines of what I was expecting, but we're going to find out probably pretty soon. So we got some Cyberverse listings. Cyberverse Warrior SO4 Snarl, SO4 Season 4, Dead End, the Transformer Roll Bumblebee Transforms Roll, combined Megatron, combined Bumblebee, combined Wheeljack, and Transformer Roll Optimus Prime. So I don't talk a lot about Cyberverse, and I think it's cool that we have something that's super targeted to the kids. There's a show that keeps the kids up to date on what's going on. But here's the weird thing. Snarl is in there, and so is a Masterpiece version. The connection is there, and they do this all the time. They did this with the Quintesson. They had a Cyberverse Quintesson. Shortly after, we get the one for Earthrise. And they're doing this constantly. Cyberverse is something that a lot of collectors kind of avoid, like the plague, but it kind of tells you what's coming next in the mainline. So this past week in Star Wars news, we have gotten the third wave of retro collection, which is not retro at all in the slightest. It's modern retro, modern collection. But anyhow, what you see in here is I got all these. I had them. I went to check out at Target 4 days ago, and they said, I'm sorry, they're street dated. We'll put them back. And then I went right first thing this morning and got them right away. So I was able to get these from Target. So start checking your Targets and Walmarts. I've seen waves come and go at Walmart, and then remnants of them, but I knew I had the whole thing at Target. So why buy a couple at Walmart when you got the whole thing at Target? But it's frustrating for collectors dealing with this fake street date or a street date and it's not honored or whatever's going on. But at least I got them. But not everybody's going to have the same story. So this week we have seen some old favorites, some carbonized Death Trooper, and a couple other figures showing up. And it's kind of exciting that you can get the stuff at regular price and not pay a premium. But one problem really stuck out to me, and this is it. So Cara Dune was absent from this list. You can go to Walmart.com and buy a $50 Cara Dune, but it's not from Walmart. It's from a third-party seller. It's not Walmart selling it. It's someone bought it from Walmart, and then now they're reselling it on Walmart as a third-party seller. So I was going to make a video talking about the whole Cara Dune situation. I have a lot of thoughts from different angles, multiple different angles. And you know, I give you all the angles on KO product. I give you all the angles when it comes to Star Wars. So I started looking at a bunch of YouTubers that were talking about the Cara Dune thing, and a few things came up. In almost every one was the concern about getting demonetized, even talking about the Cara Dune situation in 2021. And I thought, well, let me go to my go-to YouTubers that I actually watch to get this information if I don't know it. And they've canceled Star Wars on their channel. So I'm a little, no, I'm not surprised at all, actually. I'm not surprised at all. So I was going to make this video. I don't want to put 5 or 6 hours into a video to get it demonetized. But if enough comments down below want me to make a video with all like 15, 20, 30 points that I've found with multiple conversations with different people and a lot of the videos I've watched that might not even exist on YouTube anymore, I might do it, but it will get demonetized. So I don't talk about Lego so much, but there's this Lego R2-D2 and there's a whole bunch of other new Lego stuff that's out and I don't keep up with it. It's one of those things that I shut myself off from it, or else it's another rabbit hole I'd go down. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I've got 30 other rabbit holes I'm working on right now. So anyway, it still looks really cool. You build this thing. It's going to be about 12.5 inches tall. It looks really cool. It's going to have some functionality to it. And that's one thing about Lego, and maybe why people like the Lego, is because it has some functionality to it, and it looks really good. But at the end of the day, I don't know if I want to get involved in this, but I like R2-D2 a lot, and I want to kind of show what's out there for this character. Last thing Star Wars I want to talk about is Boba Fett. Now this is elusive. This figure's elusive. In fact, I believe that the rest of this wave is showing up at Ollie's. So Boba Fett, for whatever reason, is selling somewhere by itself, and the rest gets shipped to Ollie's to discount clearance, but they still didn't get the picture right, and it's okay. Those of us who paid hundreds of dollars for a vintage picture got the right picture, and this is not quite right, but I do want this simply because I like Boba Fett, and this is my favorite card back, so I'd actually like a few of these, but I haven't seen one in the wild, and I'm not paying crazy online prices for it. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. What else went on this week that I didn't talk about? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. The Game Hanger out.